There's been a lot of talk about exodus from Great Britain as the laws become more stringent and frown towards holders of crypto. The taxes are going up, capital gains going up. So a lot of the ultra rich and the wealthy have already made their exit from the Isles, but the nouveau riche that will be created by this bull market are also now talking about exit from these Isles. But where can one go? Well, not too far from home is a glorious place called Portugal, which is a very tax-friendly place, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And now with Brexit done, the British Isles are actually now separate from Europe politically, and even though geographically still part of Europe, a lot of the legislation is now different since Brexit. But before that, let's check up on how Ethereum and XRP are doing. As you can see, I told you I took out a 10x on Ethereum and a 10x on XRP. The Ethereum ETF launch has been a bit of a dud, but that's probably to be expected. There was probably an element of sell the news going on here, I guess, or just like, it takes a couple of weeks or so before the thing starts to pump again. As you can see, it's just going sideways at the moment anyway. So the minute the institutions get in there, I'm expecting to see a good 10 to 20%, and 10x of that is what, 100 to 200%. So anticipating that with bated breath. XRP. Now check out XRP. It's done a nice 5% pump since going in at 10x. So we're looking at a 50%. Now, as I told you guys before, I target the 100% to sell. So I'm waiting for that to happen probably sometime today, in which case I will exit and just wait for another dip. It's sort of like a rinse and repeat situation at the moment. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Okay, back to Portugal. So British citizens can actually get their citizenship in Portugal, and it's via the Golden Visa for UK citizens. So there's a specific subset of the rules that are for British people, because obviously British people occupy a special place in the law. Prior to that, we were just part of the EU, which means we could up and go to Portugal at will. But now that things have changed, they had to update this whole Golden Visa situation to cater for the Brits. Since 2012, Portugal's Golden Visa offers the right to live and work in Portugal and travel freely across the EU in exchange for qualifying investment in the country. The program collected more than 7 billion euros from 12,718 applicants in 2023. So it did very well last year. A lot of people moving to Portugal. I can imagine that a good percentage of those are people from the cryptocurrency world looking for a favorable tax haven. It's not a complete haven, but the laws that are tied with crypto and capital gains tax in Portugal are just orders of magnitude better than here in the UK and many other places, right? Whether or not the rules are going to change soon, who knows? But if they're making a lot of money from these visas, then they might find it more beneficial to keep the laws as they are, or even improve them, much like they are in places like Dubai, for instance, right? Now, obviously, UK citizens can still travel freely across Europe. That hasn't changed since Brexit. But what we can't do is work in those countries or make investments in those countries without some permission from their governments, if you know what I mean. So UK citizens can apply for Portugal's Golden Visa as of January 1st, 2021, which is when Brexit was enacted. If you're a British national, the program poses you with the right to free travel across the Schengen area. Again, it really doesn't, because as a British national, you can already do that. So I don't see how that's a particular benefit. I think for other people applying outside Europe, maybe from the United States, who may already also have some kind of ability to travel across these regions anyway, they might have to apply for some kind of waiver first, because the Schengen region and the United States have an agreement with each other. But if you're from Africa, Asia, South America, then you're getting more bang for the buck effectively. Does the Golden Visa actually lead to citizenship? The answer is yes. This program may lead to citizenship. You can obtain Portuguese citizenship after 5 years of the application. So that's the first. And then second, You must have a clean criminal record, and then no unpaid taxes in Portugal. And of course, you can pass the basic Portuguese language test. So you have to stay clean, legal wise, you have to pay your taxes, and you have to integrate. I think that's actually quite important. A lot of countries don't pay enough special emphasis on integration and learning language. I know here in the UK, there's not that much emphasis placed on learning language, even though English is a very, very commonly spoken language around the world. You'd be shocked how many people actually arrive on these shores not speaking the language at all. And because there's a lot of accommodation that's been made in terms of translation and interpretation, a lot of people can get by not actually learning language at all, especially if you settle in an area of the country where people from your region of the world are already living. You can basically live your life speaking the language that you already understand. So the Portuguese apparently taking a different outlook to that and actually making sure that you learn their language, which I think is a good thing. So important note for UK citizens. UK citizens were not able to apply for this program before Brexit. However, now that the Brexit is in full effect, British citizens can apply for a Golden Visa in Portugal. This program will grant a UK citizen the right to travel freely around the Schengen area, a right which unfortunately Brexit partially took away. Okay, so it's not completely, but partially took away. But I can't think of a country in the Schengen area that I can't travel freely to. So maybe I'm missing some information there, but it is what it is. Okay, so furthermore, Portugal is very popular among UK expats, especially in the Algarve region for retirement. The number of registered UK expats in Portugal already reached 35,000 by 2022. This is just the number of registered expats. The total number of UK expats in Portugal is almost twice that number. So a lot of people, a lot of British people in Portugal. Also, there are a lot of British people in Spain. It's wonderful weather out there. It's much, much cheaper than the UK. So a lot of these retirees get a better deal moving to somewhere warmer where they can live out their lives and enjoy their pensions and medical benefits, etc. Now, that's been curtailed somewhat by Brexit, of course, so this might be something that they might be looking into. If you're a non-EU EEA citizen, at least 18 years old, and have a clean criminal record, then you're eligible to apply to this program. The first step to obtaining a Portuguese Golden Visa is to make the investment in the country. The qualifying investment methods include 1. Investing an amount of €500,000 in Portuguese investment funds. That's a lot of money. Owning a company that creates a minimum of 10 jobs for citizens of Portugal. That's probably slightly easier. Investing a minimum of €250,000 in the arts or in the reconstruction or refurbishment of national heritage projects. So that's slightly cheaper than the first option. The second option is probably the easiest for most people. Can easily open a business. The highest 10 people, you can own a shop of some kind, a barber shop, a grocery store. You can open an internet-based organization where you hire 10 freelancers, for instance. So I can imagine that's probably the easiest option for most. The process of purchasing property in Portugal takes between 1 or 3 months. You need to prepare the necessary documents for the Golden Visa application and then submit them online. Okay, so they go through the benefits for people in the UK. I read somewhere earlier today that they've updated this with if you have €500,000 worth of Bitcoin that is resident in Portugal, but I can't see any evidence of that here. Bitcoin, I don't see any Bitcoin in this, right? So I think that may be either fake news or something that's so recent that it hasn't been updated on the official site. I saw an article that someone wrote, so that might just be clickbait or just outright fake news. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, those 3 criteria, 3 methods that have been highlighted on the official page are ways that you can get in. So if you're an XRP whale and your funds come running in and you've had enough of our great British Isles, that's one of the options for you. All right, so not financial advice, not legal advice. You can obviously click down here to get in touch with a Portugal Golden Visa consultant or whatever, and you can get in touch with them. All right, so yeah, take care of yourself. Peace.